Welcome back to another episode of my channel. Today is going to be a decently long episode because not so long ago, like a week ago, 11 days ago, I watched the new season of Cobra, which came out on the 9th of September 2022. This month, on the 9th of September 2022. And now that I've watched it, and I watched every episode twice, once when it came out and a second time a couple of days ago, I'm re-ranking the characters in Cobra Kai. And basically, some of the characters will be higher than others because we're going to base it on their entire time on Cobra Kai. So just because Terry Silver has only been in season 4 and 5 doesn't mean he can't be in the same tier as Daniel or Johnny, who were in season 1, who've been in the show since season 1. So just because a character has been in a show for less than other characters doesn't mean they can't be ranked in the same tier as those players that they have been in less seasons of Cobra Kai than. So we're going to start off with the Karate Kid himself, Daniel LaRusso. Season 1. I don't remember much about his characters from season 1 to 4. But season 1, obviously, 30 years later, he's got his own job. He's got his own car company. He has a great family with Anthony, Sam, Amanda. He's, a bit annoyed when Cobra Kai comes back, but that's expected because he knew how big of demons Cobra Kai was. Season 2, that relationship he had with Robbie, that sensei and student relationship he had with Robbie, and the father-daughter relationship he had with Sam were developed very nicely in season 2. And I'm assuming Ralph Macchio has kids himself, so he probably knows. If he does, then he probably knows how to look after a family. He's got 2 children, so he knows how to look after a family. So I can really see why the show gave him a family. Where do I put season 3? Obviously, I can't remember much about season 3. Obviously, joined forces with Robbie, joined forces with Johnny to try and find Robbie, and also to take down Kreese, and also to work with Johnny to take down Kreese at the end of season 3. Season 4, his sensei relationship with Johnny is tested, and in the end it doesn't really work well. But in the most important moment, he came through and decided it's better to work with Johnny just because he has a better chance with Johnny, working with Johnny. And in season 4 he obviously has to close me, and then in season 5 he also has to close Miyagi-Do because of the All Valley. But I'm not going to take that against him because he was forced. And also the best part of Daniel is he will bounce back. In the original Karate Kid, during the All Valley Karate tournament, he had lots of big blows, but he always bounced back from those big blows, and ended up winning the All Valley. So one really good thing about Daniel is he never gives up. And in season 5, for the first time ever, he gives up, and fans are like, Daniel never gives up. He stopped. He says he's done with karate. But he's reminded that over the years he has helped a lot of people. He helped Robbie with his dad issues. Helped Sam find a confident. Helped Sam fight for herself. Gave Anthony was kind to offer Anthony karate lessons. But when push comes to shove, he delivers. And Daniel delivered in the end of season 5. Taking down Terry Silver, using the crane kick, to kick Terry Silver into a picture frame to not only defeat Terry Silver, but also to send him to jail. So, in the end, he did pull through, and because of that, I'm gonna put him in. The tiers I got not many. I got. He's gonna go in the characters. He's gonna go in the characters I like category. It's not gonna be in personal. My tiers are. Should have mentioned that at the start. My tiers are personal favourites, characters I like. They're fine. Don't like them much. Can't stand them. I'm gonna put Daniel in characters I like because I found him very, very fun to watch in the original Karate Kid. Even though we're not really taking that into consideration because this is a Cobra Kai ranking. But still, great character in the original Karate Kid. He has enough good moments to not put him in, to put him above they're fine, but he hasn't not enough good traits to go into personal favourites. So he's going to go in characters I like. Next up is the other half of the Miyagi-Do Eagle Fan Sensei duo. Johnny. This show was made to be about two people, Johnny, Miguel. That's a fact. That is fact, not fiction. That is fact. Cobra Kai.
Hello.
Hi.
I have something downstairs that you might be interested in.
Yeah.
I have something downstairs that you might be interested in.
Okay.
When you come down.
I'll be back in about 2 seconds. I gotta go and get something. My mum says there's something downstairs that I might like. back. Oh, it's 30 minutes. I'm back. My mum had got me something from work today, and it was this Swedish fish. They're gummy fish from Sweden. They're tasty. I don't know what's in them to make them. They taste a bit. They're tasty, but they do taste a bit weird. I don't know what's put in them to make them taste so weird, but they're decent. So, buy some Swedish fish today and enjoy some nice gummy fish from Sweden. Fresh from Sweden. Okay, enough with that promotion of a Swedish snack. We are going to continue on with this career mode. We're going to continue on with this tier list. So like I said, Johnny. Obviously, the Cobra Kai is Johnny and Miguel's show. Obviously, in the original Karate Kid, he was just the rival of Daniel. In this show, he's given more depth than he was given in the original Karate Kid, and that's what I like. I like that he still has that friendship. I like how in season 2 we find out he still has a friendship with his old Cobra Kai teammates. You know, Bobby and all those people from the original trilogy. So it's good to see that he's still friends with the people he grew up with in doing karate together. His relationship, his interaction, him and Miguel, amazing. Both. Johnny is the father figure for Miguel. Miguel is the son that Johnny could have had when he had Robbie. No offense to Robbie, but you know, Miguel is the kid Johnny could have had. Miguel is the kid that Robbie could have been when Johnny had Robbie. In season 5, it was fun to see him take up a dad role given the news about the baby. I'm gonna put season 2 and 3 obviously grew more as a character. Season 4 also grew more as a character. Worked with Johnny, who worked with McDaniel, which is something I don't think any fan of Cobra Kai or Karate Kid would have expected. And season 5, like I said, in season 5, it was nice to see him take up this, you know, not only father role to Miguel, going, you know, to find Miguel after he leaves to head to Mexico to find out about his dad. And not only that scene, but Johnny's dad qualities is proved when he, you know, makes changes to Carmen's apartment because of the baby. And it was a very sweet moment just to see him do something thoughtful for the person who he made a baby with that came out of the blue. And given that he got Robbie and Miguel to make up, puts him in my good books. He's going to go in personal favourites. Okay, next up, we come to our first villain. John. I'm not calling Johnny a villain because he was technically a villain in season 1, but based on what happened in the later seasons, I'm not going to call him a villain anymore. But we have our first proper villain who's been a villain from day one, not just in Cobra Kai, but in the Karate Kid universe, and that is John Kreese. Now, because he's such a bad person, because John Kreese is such a bad person, I could just put him in Can't Stand Them. But what's the fun in that? Why put a villain in Can't Stand Them when you're not when they're made to, so you're not supposed to stand them? Kreese and Terry Silver are villains, so it's unfair to put them in Can't Stand Them, because their role is to make people not stand them. People should not like John Kreese and Terry Silver because they're villains. I think fans of Cobra Kai hate John Kreese and Terry Silver just because they're villains. Yes, they're villains, but just because they're villains doesn't mean they're worthy of Can't Stand Them, because there's way more to them. John Kreese. I'm going to put John Kreese in there. Fine. We're going to get to a villain. We're going to get to a villain soon who I like because he's evil and because he's played well by his actor, which I will get. And like I said, I'll get to that villain later on. Next up is Robbie Keane. Where do I put Robbie Keane? I don't think he was that big of a character in season 1, but ever since Daniel took him in as his student, he's been in the main characters bracket since then. He's been in the main characters bracket since that moment. Season 2, the relationship he builds with Sam is very fun. I like their relationship. I think Tanner Buchanan, who plays Robbie, and Maita Miyaza, who play Sam, make the relationship and friendship between Robbie and Sam feel real. And, he was on the right path in season 2 until that last episode where he obviously, knocked Miguel over that railing, which led to obviously Miguel injuring his back. So he was amazing. He was on a good path. He was on the right path in season 2 until the Miguel accident. So because of that, in season 3 he went rogue. He became an outcast. Really, he became an outcast, which led him to the end of this, which led him to joining Cobra Kai at the end. Which led him to joining Cobra Kai at the end of season 3. So season 4, he's now, and by season 4 so season 4 comes around. He's now in Cobra Kai. He's developing a relationship with Tori, which is nice to see. Even though I didn't really like Tori in season 2 and 3. I'm gonna put her. But yeah, Robbie in season 4, obviously in Cobra Kai, mentors Kenny like how Johnny mentored Miguel. So it was nice to see him taking up that mentor like his dad. But given what Kenny turned into, but yeah, season 4. Don't really have to say anything else about him in season 4. He works for Cobra Kai, has a good relationship with Tori, and mentors Kenny, and obviously ends up accidentally turning Kenny into a really big monster. Season 5, he goes with Johnny on a road trip, not even knowing what the road trip is about. And when he finds out that it's about Miguel, he's obviously understandably frustrated. So you'd think, because he's understandably frustrated, and we thought, okay, I think it was a mistake. And I think people, when after his reaction to finding out the quest was to save Miguel. That he would be like, I'm not doing it because I'm not doing it because I don't like Miguel. And still, yet, even though Robbie doesn't like Miguel, he knows Miguel he knows Johnny and Miguel are family. He knows Johnny and Miguel are family, and they do love each other. And that love for Johnny allows him to settle his differences with Miguel. And we all know what happened there. Miguel and Robbie are now... I'm not sure how tight they are, because there's probably still a bit of tension between them, but it's good to see Robbie and Miguel back as, back to respecting each other rather than, killing each other. And that obviously all goes down to Johnny's quick thinking on making Miguel and Robbie fight. But yeah, it was so good to see Robbie and Miguel make up at the end of season 5. And because of his arc in season 5, I'm going to put him in characters I like, alongside his former mentor, Daniel LaRusso. Next up is Miguel. I think I've said a lot about Miguel, even when I wasn't even when talking about the other characters and why I'd rank them where I ranked them. But yeah, Miguel's the main character. You can't really argue with anything but the top tier. So he's going to go in personal favourites. Miguel and Johnny would be my top 2 characters, to be fair, based on all 6 seasons, based on the series, based on all 5 seasons. So he easily goes in personal favourites. Next up we have Dimitri. Where do I start at Dimitri? Was in the first 2 seasons coward until the got a win over Hawk at the end of season 2, putting into that kicking him into that trophy cabinet. And ever since Dimitri and Hawk became friends again, they've been on the same page, really. Their friendship has been rebuilt. Miguel's becoming I think Dimitri's becoming a better character because of his friendship, because of his developing friendship, because of his friendship with Hawk back in his life, back. And because of that, he would have been in Don't Like That Much, because he's a coward. Based on those 2 seasons, because he's a coward. But ever since Hawk became his friend again, he's been a good character. So I'm going to put him in characters I like. Next up is Mitch. Mitch didn't really care about his, his big. I didn't really care about the big reveal of him, still being on Cobra Kai and all that sort of stuff. I didn't really care about that. Aiden Minx does a decent job of portraying the character, and to be fair, the reveal of him, still being with Cobra Kai didn't really matter much, because in the end, literally 20 minutes later after his reveal, Cobra Kai's gone and he's back to not being in Cobra Kai. So him revealing he was still in Cobra Kai was pointless, because now Cobra Kai should have been shut down. But given he's not that big of a character, I can't put him in Don't Like Them Much or Can't Stand Them, so I'm going to put him in there fine alongside John Goose. It feels weird. It feels weird to rank Mitch, who's not the biggest of characters, in the same tier as John Kreese, but he's a fine character. 80 Minutes, like I said, does a good job. Next up is Khalil Everidge's. I forgot his name. But I forgot his name. Oh my god. Chris, there you go. Next up we have Chris, who's going to go alongside his best friend in the left fine category. Next up, Nate. Just like Mitch and Chris, not the biggest of characters, so I'm going to put him in there fine as well. Next up is Hector Salazar. You know, Miguel's dad who left him at a young age. Why bring this character in? I don't know why they brought this character in. He was the pointless character to introduce him to the series. 100% he's going in, can't stand them. And even in the appearances he did make in season 5, he was just awful. He was an awful person. 100% can't stand them. Don't care. He's going straight in, I can't stand them. He's the first one to go and can't stand them because he's a crap character. He was a pointless character to bring in season 5. Screw Hector Salazar. Next up, Mary Mauser, who obviously played Sam. So Sam LaRusso is up next. Her dad. Do I think Sam deserves to be ranked higher than her dad? No. Do I really care? Do I really think Sam deserves to be above her dad in this tier list? No. But she's going to be above her dad in this tier list just because, unlike both Daniel and Sam at real moments can be bad people. The only reason why I'm putting Sam higher than the dad is I think May Mauser does a great job at portraying the character. Yes. She's got some of the same traits as her dad. But Daniel is just not. He's a good person, Daniel. Sam, her relationship with Robbie, amazing. Her relationship with Miguel, great. Was really happy to see Miguel and Sam kiss at the end of season 5. As I was with Robbie and Tori, to be fair. She's finally settled her differences against Tori, which feels so great. Her and Tori have been at odds for so long in this series. It was so good to see them make up. And it was even better to see Sam personally save Tori when she was basically at risk of her having her hand completely broken, completely effed. Seriously. So even though Tori and Sam had their differences, even though Tori and Sam had their differences, she took responsibility and forgave Tori. And I have to say, I have to give a lot of thanks to her decision, to that decision. I have to say a lot of thanks to that because of Miguel. Without Miguel being the supportive boyfriend that he is, Sam and Tori would have never made up. You know. So great to see Sam and Tori make up. Mary Mauser plays Sam very well. I like her as an actress. And yeah, I'm gonna put her in Sam. And to be fair, in the past my season 4 ranking, which I didn't, and in my season 4 Cobra Kai character ranking, which I didn't obviously do on this channel, and I didn't share with anyone. Miguel, Sam, and Johnny were my top 3 in the season 4. In the season 4 character tier ranking I did. Not obviously not on this channel, not as a video, but as a personal, it was a personal tier ranking for me, and in that personal season 4 character tier ranking, which will never be released on my channel, I had Sam, Miguel, and Johnny as my top 3. So Sam goes straight in personal favourites. Stingray. This one's very easy. He's big, he's lovable, he's big, he's fat, he's lovable, and he's got a kick-ass name. The second character in a row to get into the personal favourites tier. But to be fair, yes, Tori has a tragic past, but I'm gonna say Stingray is the most tragic character, and there's one reason, and the only reason why I think Stingray is more of a, and the reason why I think Stingray is a more tragic character than Tori is what happened at the end of season 4. Terry Silver getting a bit drunk and beating him up, and then obviously getting Stingray to mention to the cops that it was Kreese who did it to him, sending obviously Kreese to jail. So that's the reason why he's for me more of a tragic character than Tori, despite Tori's tragic past. Next up is Anthony LaRusso. Didn't play anything wasn't really a character in the first 2 seasons. They focused the first 2 seasons mainly focused, the first 3 seasons mainly focused on the Russo family members, and kind of put Anthony to the side, which I think was a bit unfair, because I think Anthony has his merits. The guy who plays him, Griffin, I don't know what his second name is again, but the guy who plays Anthony, Griffin, does a very good job of portraying the character. But there's 2 sides of Anthony. There's the son of the Karate Kid, who doesn't really do much, but then there's the Anthony at school, who his parents have no memory of, because and then the other side, Anthony at school being a bully without Daniel and Amanda's knowledge of it. Which side of Anthony do I like better? The side of Anthony as the, person at school bullying the new kid. And I even recently watched I literally just watched an interview today and I just watched a video where there was 3 interviews there were 4 interviews. There was an interview with Jacob Bertrand, Mary Mauser, Joe Mariduena, Gianni Vincenzo, and Peyton List, who obviously played Tori, Miguel, Sam, Dimitri, Hawk. There was an interview with Ralph Macchio and William Zabka. who played Johnny and Miguel, who obviously played Johnny and Miguel. There was a interview with Yuri, I don't know his second name, Yuri, and Thomas Ian Griffith, who play Terry Silver and Chosen. And then the interview that I'm going to talk about was the interview with Una O'Brien, who plays Devon. Una O'Brien, who plays Devon. Obviously, like I said, Griffin, who plays Anthony, and Dallas Dupree Young, who plays Kenny. And Kenny was asked the question: what do you prefer, being the one who's being bullied or being the one who's doing the bullying? And Kenny's answer, surprisingly, was he would rather be the one being bullied, because his reasoning behind that was he never played a character that had never played that sort of character, a character who was bullied constantly. He said he never played that sort of character. And if the actor who plays the character that Anthony is bullying says that he prefers being bullied than being a bully, then you have to at least give. Then obviously, it was funny. Based on what I'm trying to say, it was funny to hear that Dallas Dupree Young, the actor who played Kenny, would rather be in Kenny's situation, being bullied, than Anthony's situation of being the bully. So it was fun. It was just weird to see that. He's going to go in there fine. I don't know. So who's next? Next up, it's Anoush. Anoush. Not the biggest of characters, but a fun character nonetheless. Anoush is going to go in. They're fine. There's only one more character I'm going to put in there fine. No. No, he's... Their fine tier is kind of getting filled up. I've literally just put a Noosh in there, and there's only space in the left fine tier left really for one more character, and I've got a couple more characters based on looking at the characters that are left that I want to put in that their fine category. Well, given we're going to make the They're Fine category a bit bigger just because I'm going to put a couple more characters in there. So we'll start a new row for the They're Fine next time round. So you know what? Okay, there you go. We've made the They're Fine tier a bit bigger because it was already full. Next up. So yeah, not really the biggest of characters, so because of that he's going to go in They're Fine, as he had not had much to do. It was hilarious to find out that he was dating Louis' sister, who we'll get to, and Louis will obviously get to later on. But yeah, other than that, But other than that, and a couple of not funny scenes in the first 4 seasons, and he doesn't do much, so he's going to go in They're Fine. Next up is Carmen. This one's easy. Not personal favourites. I can't put her on the same tier as her husband, but Carmen is a good mum to Miguel, and a good wife, a good daughter to Rosa, and a good wife to Johnny. So, and that's what you want from a mother character. You want her to be a good mother, a good partner, and a good daughter for her own mum. That's what you want from a mum character. You want them to have those traits. You want a mum character to have a good relationship with their husband, have a good relationship with their son or daughter, and have a good relationship with their mum and dad. So, characters alike. Okay, so next up is Devon. Just like with Anthony, like I said, obviously, so Una O'Brien is the guy. Devon is played by Una O'Brien. He does a really good job. Una O'Brien, who plays Devon, does a really good job of portraying the character. I liked her turn. I liked her, story in Cobra Kai season 5. Moving after the Eagle Fang, after losing that fight at the All Valley, moving to a different karate studio, having that karate studio taken over by Cobra Kai, having to join Cobra Kai because of it, learning under the so-called best